Okay. Hello everyone. So we'll start with today's session. Okay. So anyone has an idea what is Firebase? No one? Yeah, that's right. Okay. That's right. That's right. Anyone else wants to try? Okay. No worries. Okay. So basically, backend services are generally of two types. Anyone who knows this? One is Firebase, another one is the famous Oracle thing. If you can name the headings for them. These are the products. You can name them. Anyone? There are in this there's MongoDB, and here we have yes SQL, and that's right. Okay, so SQL databases and NoSQL databases. So this is generally SQL Lite, DB Lite, all of that you have studied. All of MySQL and all of that stuff comes here. Okay, this is a very big, vast domain, and it's widely used in old companies as of now. Nobody, 90% of the old companies still use this, so this is pretty famous and it is still used. Okay, and this is comparatively new, and very less companies are still using it, but still yes, like Facebook has started using this. Okay, and there's one biggest thing they have launched is known as GraphQL. So you can look for that up. That's a really good software requirement that you can search for. And I think this has a job requirement of above 7 lakhs minimum. So if you guys want to learn something, you can try this because this is really in demand as of now. Okay, but there are very less materials to learn about it and all that stuff. So that's a difficult thing. REST, Firebase is the easiest in NoSQL database. MongoDB is when you are learning for mean stack. Okay, mean stack, merge stack. Anyone? What is merge stack full form? All the four letters. Yes, right. Okay, so whenever we come there, M remains same there. So that's an NoSQL database. So this is also famous. If you are working with web apps, generally NoSQL databases are preferred. Okay, whenever you are working with uh, backend services, try if you are making a web app, always try using uh, these kind of services which are Firebases or NoSQL with the services. Okay, if you have why I'm telling this, because with I'll teach you in within 15 to 10 minutes we'll be able to create all the basic operations that we do with Firebase. Okay, so CRUD operations, full form of this, anyone? CRUD. So create, read, update, delete. Okay. So if you are learning any language, you should always remember these. Okay, you can learn all that stuff later. But if you want to work in a hackathon, these are the four that you require. Okay, so if you are planning to win a hackathon, just learn these, and how to implement them, and more or less you'll be able to work with that language in the hackathon. Okay. Okay. Any doubts with this? Okay. So Firebase by Google, it is having something called as a console. Okay. So whenever you're operating it or whenever you're using it, you should always it always gives you a console. Okay. So console is something which is provided by them, and it's a platform just like a dashboard. Okay. So that's why it's called a console, and if you go on their website you can see all of these things. Okay, so this is something recently launched, Crashlytics. If yeah, Here you can see there's something called as Crashlytics and Google Analytics. Google Analytics, it's used for tracking stuff. And if anyone knows what's Crashlytics, anyone who has heard about this, or you can guess what it would do. Yeah. So it maintains a cache log specifically in debug mode or for even testing users. Okay, so it's generally for them. And whenever you release some app in beta mode and all of that stuff, all of that is taken in Crashlytics. Okay. So if you see Instagram's 90 percentage users, around 90 percentage Crashlytics reports are there. So they have a very high Crashlytics report. So uh, that's why they are working on this application right as of now, and they are trying to optimize it for India domain. Okay, so that's why they are having a really low rating in India, and that's why they are working on it. Okay, and recently they have started doing it. Before that, they didn't do it. So that's one of the bugs that they had. Then there are two basic functions for this. Then you have many integrations and extensions that you can add, so it's very vast. Even this is best for gaming devices. If you are making a gaming app in mobile or laptop, both of them, you want to still sync data to both of them, still you need to use Firebase. Only thing with Firebase is it is having a limited uh, data usage, so you can't go beyond something, like you cannot go beyond 7 to 8 GB 10 GB data. So that's a disadvantage. Rest, I think, for an hackathon, for a normal purpose, you don't have to worry about it. You just can do anything. So that's more or less about it. And you can make anything, like today we'll just make a simple form. And one of the features that it has is you can connect it with your Google Cloud Platform. Anyone, what is Google Cloud Platform? If you have heard about it, GCP, AWS, what are they? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So there are web services provided for hosting various objects. So if you are trying to train an ML model and do stuff with that, you can train your ML model on this cloud, and then you can bring that model here and just display the data using it. So you don't have to store a lot of data inside Firebase, and it will be free of cost. The only charges that you will be costed will be on that Google Cloud or AWS. If you are using a student tier or all of that, you don't have to even pay for that. Okay. That's an advantage. That's what we'll do is we'll create a basic project. So Firebase demo, we'll make something like this. Okay, and this is a unique ID. So if it's possible for you to keep it an unique one, that's well and good. If it's not possible, that's also fine. Okay, in my case, I won't be able to get any of the username. So if you try anything 1 2 3 4, you won't be able to get any of that. So if you are making some project which is unique, try to keep the console ID also unique. So that will make your project really unique. So do follow that. If you copy this ID right now, if you use this ID which is used by my, I can also not create this project. Okay, no longer I'll be able to do that. That's one of the restrictions, because this unique ID is for everyone. So that's one of the things. Okay. So try keeping this unique if possible. If not, then that's also okay. And if you are adding space, don't add space in your project. Add dashes and all of that stuff. So that's what you have learned previously. Also, you can use underscore too. No problem with that. But I think it's not allowed. Yeah, it's not allowed. You need to use dash. So try using dash and creating stuff if you are putting space and all of that stuff. Okay, then you get an option to add Google Analytics, and for that you have to first create an account on Google Analytics. So if you have created an account, then more or less this doesn't require anything. It doesn't, and you can build that Crashlytics and all of that stuff. So this is when you're using building a big project, then it's worth it. Otherwise, it's not. And more or less, okay. Anyone who knows a competitor for Firebase which is launched recently, if you have heard about it? No one. Okay. So there's a competitor which is known as Supabase. Okay. So Supabase is an open source Firebase alternative. Okay. So this is a competitor for them, but mind that it's free for as of now because there are less users. But more or less, when this becomes for bigger audience, it won't be free anymore. Okay, so you can try this. This is also very easy. Same, exactly same with the working of Firebase, and almost everything can work the same way. And even the APIs work better with this as compared to Firebase. I work with both of them. The API, CRUD operations, all of this works really fast with Supabase. So you can try this out. All of the stuff is almost same. Okay, and even you get this Excel format also to download all of that stuff. You can change anything. So dark mode of Firebase, you can say that. So that's how it is. You can try it out if you want. This is a really great community and it's open source too. Okay. So as soon as you create project, you will have the three options: iOS, Android, and web. Okay. So if you are making an app with backend details, then you have to use all of this, and all three of them can have the same data whatever you create in this particular project. Okay. So you can sync same data into web, you can sync same data into app, same data into iOS. Okay. So it will be consistent throughout all the three applications. So this is how generally apps are made. They are consistent across all the three domains. Okay. And there's Spark plan which is free for all. Then you have pay as you go. So this is the one which is really famous. Pay as you go. So they have started this right now, and whatever you use, you have to pay for that after the free usage. Okay. If you are planning to make some big project, this plan. Okay, and you can take it for a specific project too if you want, but it's better to take a Blaze plan and then go ahead with working of that, because some you don't have to pay sometimes. Okay, you don't have to pay a limit exact amount if you don't use it in that particular month. So you can do this particular. Okay, moving on. We'll create something for web. Okay, so you have to create a web app named to your database. So you can name it anything. And if you want, you can put up a Firebase hosting. So Firebase hosting is something which we can take up in next class, but as of now we won't be taking that. I'll teach you how to do that. You can take Firebase hosting, but we'll take it in the next particular section. Okay. So as soon as you create a particular Firebase app, it gives you a code which has to be put up in your JS. Okay. So you just have to copy this and paste it. No, nothing, no complex details, nothing to worry about, no code remembering and all of that stuff. So you just have to copy this and you can just paste it. Okay, and if you guys need this particular code, I'll do that too, and I'll give that code. If you're not doing it with me, if you're having some issues with Firebase, you can ask for that and I'll paste it in chat. Okay, any doubts up till now you can ask. Okay. What I have done, any doubts with any of the UI part also, you can ask. Like that. Anyone, anything, anything, nothing. So we'll move on. So as soon as you connect the Firebase app, there's nothing to check if you are doing it the first time. There's no option to check it. So what we'll do is we'll make a simple form with three fields, and then we'll take the input and we'll paste that. So we'll add a. What do you want to do? You want to write all the JS code here only, or should we make another JS file for it? Okay, so do remember whenever you're creating a JS file, always create it after the credentials, because it won't be validated if you create it uh, exactly after that. Okay, so what we'll name it will index. Yes, approach. Okay, sometimes this is called as main.js, app.js, all of that stuff is okay. You can create any of that you want. Okay, and one of the cool features, if you haven't created a file and named it, you just press control click and it will create that file for you too. So if I delete this file and if I just want to recreate it, just press Control click and it will create this file. Okay, so that's one of the shortcuts that you can use in this particular VS Code. Okay, anything you want to ask? Any doubts with whatever I've created? Can you speak? Sorry, what we have done till now. Okay, so basically we have just logged into Firebase console and just created a basic app. So you can look up to the video. There's nothing complex in that. Just next, 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 and nothing else. Okay, here I've just given a name to the app and then I've copied the SDK from here. Copy. I've just pasted. Nothing, no code as of now. No difficult code. Okay, I'll teach you the CRUD operations, easy ones, and then if we have time, we'll do Google authentication and all of that stuff. If we have time. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll name three files. First, we'll create input fields inside body. Get name, put ID equal to name box, and you can create do the same thing for two values or three values. How many values do you want? Four also you want? If you can put role, and then last we can take section. Okay, full. Yes, no problem. You can take role box, same thing. And last we'll take section. I get three buttons to create, read, update. Okay. Write some stuff also and I'll put ID button. So copy four buttons. So is create. Okay. Then we have select. Okay. So that also select. And then last is update and we have delete. Okay. So let's check if yep. Okay, we can put br and it looks doesn't matter still. Can do this or you just looks okay. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Okay, we want br here. So yes, you can see these are the three which we can put, and these are name, roll number, and section. Okay. So whenever you are making anything in Firebase, you have to first either create. There are two options. There is something called as Firebase database. There are two types of database. There is something called as a Firestore, which is a real-time database for which is situated on cloud. Okay, this is Cloud Firestore, which you know. This is a database which is situated on cloud, and it's much more powerful as compared to scaling and all that stuff. It gives you multiple data storage options. So rather than when you're storing only one data, two data, three data, you can't store. In this, there's the problem. Okay, but when you're storing multiple data, you don't have an option like that. Okay, so that's the advantage of Cloud Firestore, and you can look up to that particular thing. We'll take the easier option. That's real-time database. Okay, so real-time database is much easier to do, and There's something called as lock mode. In lock mode, what you have to do is you have to rename this to true, true, true. And in start test mode, we'll use this only for 30 days. So this is just for temporary purposes. That's why I'm using it in text mode, test mode, and it is given some date and all of that stuff, so that after 30 days it will automatically be deleted. Okay, so that's how you can do it. But if you are making an hackathon and all of that stuff, don't do it. Okay, be careful about that. Okay, then you'll be able to create that database more or less. Okay, here you can modify those rules which weren't available there. Here you can change it to true and it will be available all the time. Okay, to make this true, be available all the time and true here. Okay, publish and the rules are published. Okay, if there's any error, it will display that too, and you can check whatever is the data usage and all of that stuff. Okay, more or less all of the operations that we do will be accessed in this link, and this link is, I think, accessible to all of you. You can log into this link and see data present here. Okay, but you need access to this, so that's it. If you are given access to this particular database, and you can get the access using these keys only. If you have only these keys, then you will be able to access the data. Okay, so this is what is the essential part. This API key is the important part and all of this stuff. If you know all of this, you will be able to access that particular database through your mobile app or any of the website. Okay, so we will go on creating and doing stuff now. Any doubts up till now? Any issues if you have, you can ask. Okay, can we host web apps by Firebase or it's for mobile apps? Yes, you can host web apps, mobile apps. You can create iOS devices. You can even use it with Unity. Okay, so nowadays, I think if you want to create it with Unity, there's an option to do that too. Click plus add app. You can have an option for Unity. You can create all of that web, iOS, Android, anything you want. You'll be able to do that. So anything other than this, if you have, you can do that. So what we'll do is we'll first do create and we'll add some data, and then we'll do other of the stuff. Okay, so first thing, whatever we do is first, what should we do whenever we what how do we take input from these fields, all the three fields? Anyone? Hmm, right. Okay. Unity has what people create. Yes, yeah, Unity is used for creating games, 90%. Okay, so if you are into gaming and all of that stuff, you can check that out. But if you aren't into that, you can leave it. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll create all the variables name for first, and then we'll call them. Where create name variable, then we can name something as role variable. Role, we also have roll number, no? So we'll name as role variable, and last we have one more as section. Okay, you can do the similar for college fest and all of that stuff if you want to do it. If you're hosting a college fest and all of that, you can create these forms like that. Here, I hope in pandemic you are all using Google Forms. So if you want something custom and all of that stuff, you can make something like this. Okay, so you use document dot get element by ID name box dot value. Okay, so that's the important thing that Vijesh mentioned. Should be value, nothing other than that, because this option is not available, I think, anywhere. So you have to just always remember that whenever you are taking anything from that input, it should be in dot value. Okay. So as soon as you do it, you can check if it's working or not. But we'll write the function and then we'll check. Okay, we'll check console log and check if this is connected properly. I think this is connected. This is connected to the database first thing. Okay, then other two variables too. Role and section. Okay. If you have doubts in this too, ask me. I'll explain this in detail too. Because this part is very small, so you don't have to worry. What did I name this at? Section boxes. Okay. So I just created a function named as ready, which is always fired when you have to get data specifically from this value and assign them to these variables. Okay. Any doubts with this? Anything? This this is just calling those values, just performing, getting the data ready. This is just for getting the data ready, and then we can go ahead with other steps. So here we'll do insert data, and we can name others following. So any doubts with this? If you are having, just ask me. No, I think I have already done something in Confluence. How do I connect? Like HTML, CSS. This is the steps in which you can do it. So I have first you have to just make a project on Firebase and then just make a real-time database. Okay, and you will be good to go and you will be able to connect an HTML app to a website. That's what we are doing. We are just creating a form here and we'll enter three values here and then you can put it up for anything. This code works everywhere. Okay, so whatever code I am writing is general and you can do all of the common operations that are done in database. Okay, then we just see this example and you'll be able to understand you can do almost everything with this. Okay, so document.get element, because we have created an insert function, insert button, so we'll do on click. I think on click will be fine, and then we'll name this as a function. Okay, and brackets. You can use arrow functions, but this is not a very complex case, so you don't use it when you have multiple arrows. So whenever you are inserting data, you have to get the data. So that's why I'm using ready function and getting these three values here. And inside this function, uh, okay, so I'll refer to the documentation now, and if you guys want to uh, Firebase block. Okay, I'll just so this is the documentation for it, and it will show you all of the details. So it's different for different particular databases. So if we are using web, so we'll just go to the web thing, and it will teach you what to do first, what should you follow, and all of that stuff. After doing this, if you're using this data, if, if you're doing React app, then you can follow this. If you're doing it CDNs, this is one which we had done. So this is CDN, then there's a hosting URL, and the last one. Yes, go with it. Okay, so we'll keep the CDN thing. Okay, so here's the key. Then you Firebase init, Firebase deploy. Okay, search for it. Okay, so here I think yes, here's the steps for that. Read and write data and all of that stuff. Yep, this is a format in which you can write data. So this is web 8, web 9. This doesn't matter versions which are 9 or something like that. So this is a function where in which you can write. So You have to create a function with all of these values. Then firebase.database.reference users. So users is basically whatever data you want for that particular stuff. Okay, so we are taking a student data, so we can name this as student. Okay, and instead of users, so student, and then you have to put a id, unique id. So here we are taking roll numbers as a unique id. If you don't have, you to still create this user id. You have to manually add something here, but this should be unique in the complete project. Okay, this can't be repetitive, so data won't be inserted if this is repetitive. Okay, so this is like your registration number or roll number or something like that. Then you have dot set function, and then you put up all these values equal to data. Okay, so we can do the same thing. We'll create this function. We'll name this as firebase.database and dot reference. So dot ref is for reference, and we'll name this as student. So put a slash there. So this is how you do it, and then dot set for setting it. Going right. Inside this you put curly braces. Inside this you can write whatever, for whatever data you are assigning this to. Okay, so we'll name this as these are the values which you want to be displayed here. Okay, there's something as username, email, or passport profile picture. These are the values which you want to be present in this particular data. Okay, these are the three values which you want to name it. You can name this as name and all of that stuff. Anything you can name this as name, first name, and all of that if you want. So I'll just use name, and then let that be equal to name v. Okay, have to put comma. Okay, don't put spaces. So together. Role B. First we have sec. We'll name this as section. Okay. Any doubts with this? Let's test this out if this is working. Okay, I'll just show this in real time so you'll be able to see both the screens at the same time. Any issue? Firebase.database is not a function. Let me check. Oops. I've taken all the Firebase auth, and I'll take all these inputs. Analytics we don't need. These are two, I think, that should be required. Okay. Let's see if this works now. Time card. I'll do that. I'll copy the script tag there. Or should I am missing anything? giving get element by id dot on click now the same. Okay, I think I have to function I have to give the parameters to. I think there we had to do the parameter. Yeah. User ID, name, email, and image. Name. I don't we have to call them. But it doesn't recognize. Or anyone has idea why it think by this line. If where database equal to Firebase. Okay. And we can do is we can degrade the version, right? A lower version. Let's see if that for web. There's nothing for web. By 7, 5, 15.5. This was my previous project version. Right. Oh, sorry. We forgot to import Firebase.database. Whenever you are doing it, don't forget to add Firebase dash. I think because of this, it wasn't. It was giving. Okay, so something wrong with the variable. Dot set. Does it insert it into the database? Okay. dot value argument contains and dot undefined dot roll number. Just check if in HTML we have put dot value there, right? Okay. Let us remove this and check working. Shouldn't give an error. Section is undefined. Sequi is not defined. Okay, this is capital. That's why. Okay, so do be careful about these stuff. I think yes. So the data is inserted successfully. Okay, so all of these values get displayed. Do be careful about these variables. That's why this was an error, and you won't be able to identify the error if you see it there. Okay, I'm using Firebase.database. That's why I didn't import that. I used Firestore. That's why it was giving an error. Okay. Okay, so we'll do the select and update also. We'll finish this. So select. So in select, you just have to get one input from the user, and then we can do the same thing there also. So copy this, the same there. Any doubts with this? If you have, you can ask. Any doubts? Okay, so whenever you are doing this particular thing, when you are doing select statement, there's something called a snapshot in Firebase. Okay, so snapshot is a photo of your database. So you see, this particular thing is complete page as a snapshot. Okay, this database is completely situated in a snapshot. Whenever you are taking data, you have to take it in a snapshot format. Okay, so it will take a particular section. Sorry, it will take a particular section like name, roll number, and section as one person, and this will be one single snapshot. Then you have one student. That's also a snapshot. You can add elements like this. Go on. So for select, I'll do the particular thing. So as soon as you click select on click function, we'll do ready. We'll reference student there. We'll take the real value, and here we'll do, instead of dot set, we'll do on. In on, only on you can check if it's equal to the value. Okay, so value is checking the parameter. If that roll number is equal to the value present in the database, then check it. If it's not, then you can skip it. Okay, so then we can write a function here which will take snapshot. So snapshot is what I taught, is particularly a photo of your database, and inside that database photo you can add values. So what we'll do is we'll print that particular value inside the database and we'll do it. Okay. Document dot get element by id. We'll get the field, and then we'll paste the data inside that particular field. We'll get name box, and we'll paste the value of whatever value we get from the database. We'll paste that. So if you have to get a value, you have to just use snapshot parameter and snapshot dot val. So this gives you the particular value of the this gives you the value of data. Okay, and then you can do whatever is inside the value. Okay, so as soon as you click value, it will show you all the options which are present inside this database. Okay, so it's that display. Okay, so we have name, we have roll number, we have section. Okay, so same thing you can access. name, and we'll do the same things for all the three, roll number and value. So these should be same as the ones you have defined here. You can't change those values. To be careful, these should be exactly the same. If you even do a type of like the one which I did, the problem will be you won't be able to see the data right. Okay. Section box, and let's try select now. It will work fine. So we'll put some roll number. So whatever roll number which I had specified there, that should be available. Okay, so we have put roll number 1, and if I click select, all of these values are present now. Okay. So this is how you do select, and just snapshot is just a photo of the database at that particular instance. So it's something like a photo. Okay. So you take a photo at one and take that photo and take a particular variable from that and just display it in the front end. So we have done select, and the other two which are left are update, and update is exactly same. The complete data is exactly the same. Only thing that changes here is a dot instead of dot set, dot update, and I think it will work the same way. So first we'll get select the data. We'll select one and we'll get all the data from it, A and B, and now we'll update this to Anush, and we'll be able to see it in database. Okay, so as soon as I click update, this should update. Okay, let's see if this is refreshing. Yes, so it has updated. If it's green, it means I think, and it's not giving any error also. Oh, okay, sorry, you don't have to put this roll number, that's why. Okay, so whenever you're updating a particular value, you can't update the value which is present here. So that's why it wasn't specifying, it wasn't giving the value. We'll get it again. Think select, and then we'll update it. We'll change this to Anush. Update. Uh, Still doesn't, and it's not giving any error also. Still, as function name is correct. Okay, it's on insert, that's why. Sorry. Change this to update. Sorry guys. Select and update. Sorry for that. Yes, you can see the data gets updated here. Okay, so just follow this particular standard that do update these values also. So I have forgot to do this, that's why. The same thing, just have to change this to update and it will work the same way. And last, remove is just a single line of code. So right, remove, and in remove you don't have to do anything, nothing complex, nothing difficult. uh, just remove all of that stuff, just dot remove, and you are done, I think. No. And the data gets removed. Okay, so we'll insert some data and then we'll remove it. So we'll add Anush 1 and roll number 2, section A. We'll insert this, and you can see 2 is inserted. Now we'll delete that particular data. So we'll take roll number 2 and delete it. So as soon as I click delete, should delete. Okay, same thing, I must have forgotten to change the name. delete. Okay, now let's see. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so if you normally do that, what happens is it deletes the complete database. So don't ever do that. You have to put, you can put validations and avoid that kind of thing so it doesn't happen. Okay, I'll insert this and then I'll delete it. So if you click one, it will delete that particular data. And all of that data, whenever it goes, it comes in red and all of that stuff. Okay. So these are the main three functions. If we have time, I'll go in detail with that Firebase authentication with Google sign-in next time, or Firestore thing. Okay, any doubts with this? Okay, I'll explain the example of this too. If you have something in front end like this, so this is a basic front end application, and here you have connected it to Firebase. So to do that, only thing you require is this code, these three lines of code, like these three scripts and the validation script, and then you can put the script SRC. So here's the code logic. Okay. Firestore is little bit difficult to operate. You have to you have the problem there is that you have to study. You have to go in detail with promises and all of that stuff. If you are having issues with promises, the best thing is go for real-time database, and there's no issues with it. Okay, so we are done with the session. If you have anything, you can stay. Otherwise, you can leave.